Hi, it's Tuesday, and the shiur is going to be Nishmat HaKadoshim VaTaorim, and this time I'm in Bruges in Belgium, and it's very interesting, this feeling, to understand that I am making a shiur wherever I am. And in the last 2 months I've been in quite a few places. If it's in Japan, in Tokyo, or in Kyoto in Japan, in China, in Shenzhen, China, and now I am in Belgium, and I'm broadcasting from Bruges. And I had sometimes it was a lot of the times it was business, and now it's pleasure. Like we took our grandchild, our granddaughter, to see little things. And the idea is that it doesn't matter what or where you are and what you do. The idea is to when you are with the Torah, you're with the Torah. It doesn't matter where you are. You keep your schedule of learning Torah, teaching Torah, wherever you are. And this is like the Torah is telling us, Chukat Torah. That's the law of the Torah, and we're talking about para aduma. Now, para aduma is something that Shlomo HaMelech got to it, and he says, this law I cannot understand. And we're talking here about Shlomo HaMelech, the most clever guy in the world. The wisdom he had, no human being had. When we get to this para aduma, he says, with all the wisdom I've got, this is too far from me, I cannot understand it. And the idea here is very simple. The idea here is to understand and realize that what Shlomo HaMelech is really saying to us, it doesn't matter what mitzvah we're talking about. It can be the mitzvah of para aduma that maybe I don't understand what it's all about, and it can be also a mitzvah of kabed et avicha v'et imecha, should honor your parents. Even if I think that I understand, that's not the reason I do the mitzvah. I do the mitzvah because God told me to do it. And although I know some of the reasons, the real truth is that I really don't know anything. I don't know the deepness of things. But I am not the one who's going to do the calculation if it's right or wrong or how it is. I can try and understand, that's no problem. It helps you to make the mitzvah. But you have to understand at the end of the day, it's like para aduma. Even if you don't understand what's going on, you still do what God told you to do. Then, when we talk about Zot Chukat Torah, says that is the law of the Torah, para aduma, and that's the idea, to understand that all the mitzvahs, this is the Torah. They are like para aduma. It doesn't matter if you are understanding it or you don't understand it. And then also it's written a few psukim later, Zot HaTorah, that's the Torah, but this time it's not the law of the Torah and talk about para aduma. This time talking of purifying with the ashes of Torah aduma somebody who is impure because he was near a dead guy. It says Adam ki yamut ba'oel, Zot HaTorah, that's the law. Adam ki yamut ba'oel, that's the Torah. And the idea is that we have to understand and realize at the end of the day, when we deal with the Torah and what we really want to do, it doesn't matter if you have your own schedule, if you have your own things, you should do them no matter what. Even if you are on holiday or in business, you have to try to make what you are used to do with the Torah. You don't stop learning Torah because you are on business. You don't stop davening or eating kosher because you are traveling or whatever. You just try and do whatever you can wherever you are. And this is what I'm doing right now. And I suddenly realized the idea behind it. It doesn't matter where you are. You still have to keep the things that you do, the good things you do, especially when we're talking about spreading the Torah, talking about the halachot, talking about parashat Shavua. And here we have a very interesting law that teaches us about the whole Torah, and it teaches us what's the meaning of Adam ki yamut ba'oel. A man, if he dies in the tent, and the idea is that our sages say that you should kill yourself for the Torah. And it's very strange. What does it mean? Should I suffer for the Torah? Should I have miserable life? Of course not. The idea is that when you're with the Torah, you are with the Torah. It doesn't matter where you are. Like we are now. In the middle, I left everything and I'm doing this because this is something that I'm doing and I have to do it even though I am now on a holiday. And talking about this, like this was this guy he had a business with his wife, and every morning they worked from day to night. And one day he thinks to himself, I've got nothing. I'm always working and working, no Torah, no thing. Like I daven quickly and rush out from shul in order to open the business. And one day he decides, I'm going to stay in shul and learn for an hour and a half. And that's what he does. But his wife is opening the shop and is waiting, and Yankale is not coming. And after 2 hours he gets in the shop, says, where have you been? Oh, it happens this, I read that. Okay. And this is every day he's telling her another story. One day, a week later, a guy comes on in the shop, the same story, when Yankale is still not in the shop, and he's saying, wow, you know, your husband became a tzaddik. He's sitting every day, 2 hours after davening, and he is learning. She couldn't believe it. What? She says, wait here. And she runs to the shul, to the synagogue. She looks from the window and she sees her husband. Yes, he is really sitting there and learning. Goes back to the shop, and the minute he gets in, she starts shouting, oh, you lied to me, you got this, you this, and you haven't come to. Says, I want to ask you a question, says Yankale. If Chas v'Sholom I die, what would you do? Would you open the shop alone? He says, what can I do? He says, no. He says, if Baruch Hashem, I'm coming alive. Let's think that every day for a few hours I am dead, and then I'm coming alive again. Tchiyat HaMetim I've got. And this is an idea to understand and realize what the meaning of Adam ki yamut ba'ohel. Adam ki yamut ba'ohel, it's not the idea that you should die or kill yourself on the Torah. You should live for the Torah. But when you are with the Torah, be with the Torah. Don't involve any other things. And if you have a certain schedule regarding davening, praying, and learning Torah, keep up to this schedule. And everything else in the world is dead for you. This is Adam ki yamut ba'ohel. And talking about this, a very interesting point to understand the difference between us and beast. The cow that is mentioned in our parashat, the red cow, that is purifying those that are impure. On the other side, impurifying those who are pure. And we see all the sacrifices, they're all built from cows and oxes and beasts. And the question is, what is the connection between the beast and a man? Because with the cow and a man. And the real truth is that there is a very, very good connection and very interesting connection, because we are built from the soul, from heaven. This is the, let's say, the holy part, the spiritual part, and this is connected to the human, to the flesh and blood, to the beastly part. And this connection should be very, very strong, but the control should be, of course, by the spiritual part, by the neshama, the soul. And on this is also an interesting, a nice story that Chafetz Chaim Zatzal brings. And it's connected to what you see here on the back. You see those wagons with horses. And there are places here that you cannot in town go with a car. You need to use a wagon with a horse. And one day a tourist with his family came, and they hired this wagon with the horses. And the guy who is leading the horse, he was just after lunch, and he of course drank quite a lot, and he was feeling, how do you say, a little dizzy. And the tourist, he sees it, says, be careful when you're going, don't worry, everything is okay. So okay, they're going on the way, everything is okay. But then this guy, he suddenly fold the head right and left, and he's not there anymore. He's like half asleep. The horses suddenly see something on the side of the road. They see something good to eat, this good flowers or weed or whatever it was. And of course, the horse is a horse, and he bends down to the other side of the road, and there was a tunnel there, and everything is falling down. Unbelievable what happened now. And everybody is hurt, and the tourist, he gets up and he starts hitting this the wagon, the guy that was leading the wagon, and says, "What have you done?" Says, "What do you want from me? I am not to blame. It's the horse." Says, "What do you mean you put the horse?" Says, "This is a clever horse. He always knows the way. I don't know what happened now." Of course, what happened is very simple. As the Chafetz Chaim says, you see, if you let the horse to lead, if you let your beastly soul, your beastly part to lead the way, you are in problems. You always need to have the moshchot, to have the how do you know? I don't know how to say moshchot in English, to lead the horse and show him the right way. Because the minute you are not holding the horse in the right way, and the horse is going by himself, that's the worst thing that can be. And that's human being. Human being is built from the beastly part and the spiritual part, the neshama and the body. And as long as the neshama is leading the way, there is no problem. But the minute that the neshama lets the body, the beastly soul, to lead the way, then it's a disaster. And that's exactly the idea. If we try and find reasons for the mitzvahs because we like them, the beastly part likes them, then we have a problem. But if we realize, understand, if God told us to do something, even if we understand, and even if we don't understand, we do what God told us to do, and that's it. So, the minute we understand that what is leading is the Torah, and what is leading is the spiritual part of us, and this is also written in the parashat, the Muslim is those who govern, they do the right calculation. I haven't got enough time anymore, so I just want to say it very briefly. To control and to do the right calculation, you can only do if you are Moshel, if you are the one, if the spiritual part, the neshama, is in control. Then you can do the right calculation.